It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Is in bloom, the PR transmissions will resume. I try to push, try to keep us all down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Another promise, another.
At the Grammys, we had Muse, and that's their song "Uprising." You know, I want to. You probably heard the song, but you haven't heard the really understand the lyrics. Because I remember when I was in high school, Rush was big, you know, and I don't know if you guys ever listen to Rush songs or know their lyrics and stuff.
A little bit.
You know, it's big anti the man. Okay, it's just three guys, and the lead singer, man, that guy was just plain ugly. That's just the way it is, you know. So maybe some you know, it had an effect on their popularity, but they were very popular with a lot of my friends and a lot of anarchists that I know, and I guess he's not that ugly, you know. It's just he wasn't purty. Well, what happened was, as time goes on, I start to realize that a lot of the libertarian friends are big into Rush because of the lyrics. Here comes Muse. Now, I asked Drew and Nick a few days ago when Glenn Jacobs put it up on Freedom's Phoenix, you know, he's like a fan of theirs and what they had to say. And they go, yeah, it's kind of this pop rock thing if you're into that, you know.
Oh, welcome to 2010, Ernie.
Well, I mean, what do you guys listen to? You know, headbanging, you know...
Well,
AC/DC and Megadeth's a wimp.
Well, but judging by the emails that Nick and I both responded to you, apparently I'm more of a Muse fan than Nick is. But yeah, no, I think it's well deserved that they won the Grammys. They've been huge in Europe for a long time, and you know, I enjoy their music. And
well, I never knew they existed. Let's go ahead and, you know, blah 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 blah. Paranoia is in bloom. The PR transmissions will resume. They'll try to push drugs that keep us all dumbed down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Another promise, another scene, another packaged lie to keep us trapped in greed and all the green belts wrapped around our minds and endless red tape to keep the truth confined. They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious. And then there's one more stanza here. Interchanging mind control. Come let the revolution take its toll. If you could flick a switch and open your third eye, you'd see that we should never be afraid to die. You know, this is revolutionary stuff, man. They're allowed to perform at the Grammys, but it's got a beat. You can dance to it or headbang to it or whatever, you know. So this is the point that I'm making, you know. There is a colossal change. Now let's go ahead and start looking at, I'll show you some of the artwork that they have here. Let me pull up the slideshow and we'll talk about it as we're going through. For those of you that aren't on video, you need to go check out the YouTube video. Go to freedomsphoenix.com and you can see this stuff. Now, tell me about the plan you have for this weekend. Now, there's a kind of a special audience and you're wanting to do something. What are you doing?
We're trying to convince people that. Well, what are you looking at me for?
No, just which one are you going to tell me?
All right, I'm not really sure actually. I think Tom's always been a silver bug, I guess, but I think Nick and I really got the silver bug in us at this point, and we're basically going to go to L.A.
Kind of like Thomas Costanzo,
who's going with us, and Morpheus, and actually helped us get a lot of the booth set up and different stuff. So we appreciate that. But we'll have a table, and it's basically going to be full of more silver than just information this time. So
it's Freedom Law's thing with Payman. We had Payman on yesterday or the day before.
Correct. It's the Freedom Law Conference.
So the Freedom Law Conference, and it's Payman's been around doing this for a long time, and the thing that he really has been pushing was anti-IRS, and he explained to me the reason is because, especially this time of year, once a year he'll do it kind of like a Freedom Summit thing, but it's always an anti-IRS theme, and he keeps it in Southern California because he has his supporters there. He gets enough attendees. He can you know, fund it by getting enough attendees, make some money, and he always kind of has this, you know, America, you know, MKers kind of thing.
Well, but this is a bit more radical than even the Nullify Now thing we experienced a few weeks ago, because, you know, they're not afraid of you know, bringing in William Rodriguez and talking about some of that stuff. So this is going to be our base. I mean, all these people here are going to be big into silver, and you know, like you said, a lot of tax anti-tax protesters, Joe Bannister, people like that. Michael Bednarik will be there, and some good speakers. So it's definitely our crowd. And so we got we're going to have some flashier images in the Fed, and then we got this Pork Fest idea that we're kind of going to try to announce and explain to people, and just hope to interact with some people and see if we can't show off the cell phone application.
Tell us about, there's this one right here. Go ahead and tell us about the In the Fed card, because everything that you're doing is in a business size card, business card size, and on the back it'll have, some conversion, your dime and weight and 90% of them, what the value is at, whatever. And we decided to print it. When I first did a lot of the signs and everything, we go, we'll just put it at $30. Well, then it went down to 26 something. Now it's almost 32. So I got to check. It's probably over. But so you're looking at this. You're going, all right, what kind of card would appeal to these people? Well, Nick, you went all conservative on me here. Explain this to me.
Well, we had to look and see who our customers were going to be, and I wanted to present them with items that they would flip out over. So we've got American flags, and was that Andrew Jackson telling you to end the Fed now, pointing his finger at you like Uncle Sam. And it's a nice image that I stole off the internet, so it's mine now.
Well, I like it. I mean, it's a good idea. End the Fed, Andrew Jackson with a weathered American flag banner behind him. I like it. I mean, it's cool. It kind of, it says what's what to the right people here. But that's kind of, what you're talking about. It's your market. Your market is going to be someone that's more, I don't know, they get a lot of their personal value and relevance to history. They always go, somebody cool back there that's on a postage stamp or something did it, thereby I associate with them. They need that. But the one thing that I really like about the next generation is they've been able to generate their own stuff. And that's one reason why, wallet voting logo is kind of the yellow and black, and a lot of things like going to Pork Fest, you're going to ask. So tell me about that. The long-term transition into this type of bartering currency. I don't know if you want to call it. What would you call it? Is it currency? What do you call it?
I'm not calling it anything. I'm not calling it currency. We're promoting collectibles at this point, because what to answer your question is, where do we see this long-term transitioning? Our goal right now is, without going backwards financially, is trying to get as many of these dime cards distributed in as many different ways as we can come up with, so that we can just put them all out there. And then we figure in 2 years, or even a year, or even less, when this dime is now worth $4, all of a sudden we're on a different playing field, where that $4 of value is worth, lunch or something that is actually going to be needed, so that people will be more willing to get rid of them at the time that it becomes, $4 a dime.
What a really good idea a lot of people have suggested is that you use them as tips. You go to a restaurant, and you're going to give them a few bucks or something, you just give them one of these cards, or two.
Or you give them a card and cash, because some waitresses might get really, mad at you and not understand it. As long as you can put the information on there to explain that this is the best tip you've ever gotten, like a gratuity card or something, or you really do the graphics right to explain to the waitress. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I can see this expanding. When you guys come back, we'll talk about some of the functions you've already done, the responses that you've got, and what you have planned in the future. We'll be right back here with wallet voting, and with Drew and Nick, and Thomas is going this weekend to California too.